Caroline, the truck is outside, and two men are walking up the steps with a box of locks.
Vicky, I need you to breathe because I made a decision that I thought would save us.
You will explain why Mom may wake to strangers in her hallway and why our door is their project.
I entered a cash buyer deal to pay urgent debts, and the agreement schedules a lock change after closing.
You sold our parents' house without telling me and expected me to learn when a drill touched the wood.
I believed it would be temporary and that we could buy the house back once I stabilized my finances.
Temporary is not the word for a crew on our porch and a clipboard that treats memories like inventory.
The agent said investors move fast, and speed felt like the only way to stop the collectors.
Tell me what authority you used and show me where my name appears and when I supposedly agreed.
I signed as personal representative using a power of attorney for Mom that the agent arranged.
Send me every document and every message right now because no one moves a box until I see the truth.
I am sending the purchase agreement, the power of attorney, and the entire email thread with the agent.
I see vacant upon closing and a Friday date and a price that reads like a pawn ticket.
They paid in cash and promised a quick close and 48 hours for us to clear the house.
You carved our lives into 48 hours and handed a stopwatch to a stranger with a van.
I was drowning in late fees and threats, and I convinced myself this was a bridge to safety.
A bridge made from secrecy collapses under the first footstep, and I am already falling through it.
I know I hurt you and I endangered Mom, and I am not asking for forgiveness before I act.
I want facts because facts fight in daylight while apologies only shiver in the corner.
The notary met me at an office downtown, and the agent kept insisting the forms were standard.
Was Mom competent that day, and did she answer questions herself, and did the notary verify capacity?
Mom was quiet, and I answered too much, and the notary relied on the agent for context.
Then the foundation is cracked, and I will press a wedge into that crack until the wall opens.
Tell me what to do step by step, and I will follow without argument because I created this mess.
First, email the buyer and request a 72-hour medical accommodation due to Mom's cognitive impairment.
I am writing the request and copying you and asking for a written confirmation of the pause.
Second, forward all calls, texts, voicemails, and notes that mention my signature or how to avoid it.
I am exporting everything, and I will not delete or alter a single timestamp.
Third, give me the full name of the notary and the address and the exact signing time.
The notary was Harriet Mason at Oak Street Suite 4, and the signing was 11:15.
Fourth, stop all contact with the agent unless I am on the thread or on the call.
Agreed. And I will route every message through you and the attorney you choose.
Fifth, list every dollar received and every dollar spent with dates, accounts, and reasons.
An advance hit on Friday, and I paid 2 overdue cards and a storage penalty and nothing else.
You traded our roof for receipts, and now rain is coming, and I refuse to let it fall on Mom.
I hate what I did, and I am scared, but I am here, and I am not running.
Good, because I need a witness, not a ghost, and I need truth, not sugar.
I will admit that shame told me to keep you in the dark, and I obeyed it.
Did the agent instruct you to avoid my signature or to keep me out of the process?
Yes, he said we could proceed as personal representative without you in order to keep it simple.
Simple for him and catastrophic for us, and that sentence will become our lever.
I have an audio clip where he says that, and I am exporting the file to email.
Send the clip to me and to counsel because voices weigh more than polished clauses.
The file is uploading, and the subject line reads Signature Guidance from Agent.
I want a precise timeline from first contact to closing to the lock notice with visible timestamps.
First contact was 3 weeks ago, then a call the next day, then a meeting Tuesday, then signing Friday, then the lock email Saturday.
Write that on a single page and attach screenshots and mark each image with time and source.
I am compiling the packet and saving it to a shared folder for you and the attorney.
Why did you not call me when the first text arrived and give me a chance to help?
I thought you would say no, and I believed no would end me, so I chose secrecy.
My number would have been to secrecy, and my yes would have been to fighting together.
I took that choice away, and I will never take it away again.
The workers are on the porch, and I told them entry is denied because the occupant is medically vulnerable.
I sent the same statement in writing, and requested a pause under reasonable accommodation.
I am calling County Elder Services because institutional voices slow the bravado of fast money.
I will sign an affidavit describing pressure confusion and the agent's instructions in clear detail.
Keep public silence until council reviews because chess beats drums in emergencies.
I will speak only to you, to council, and to the clinic for records.
Pack documents, medications, and photo albums and leave furniture in place because possession is leverage.
I will focus on papers and pills and proofs, and I will leave the heavy things alone.
Bring your laptop chargers, bank statements, and every envelope with postmarks for authenticity.
I will label each item and keep originals crisp, so nothing appears fabricated.
Do not answer buyer or agent calls because their words are hooks meant to reel you back.
I will send all calls to voicemail and forward the recordings to our folder.
I am drafting a cease and desist and preparing an emergency injunction based on capacity concerns.
I will keep the remaining funds untouched, so our timeline reads clean to a judge.
Tell me where you are because I want you here for the next round of calls.
I am 15 minutes away and breathing steadily and driving with both hands on the wheel.
When you arrive, enter with a calm face because mom reads worry faster than words.
I will match your calm and follow your lead because you hold the map.
The map says, hold the door today and break the contract tomorrow and keep mom safe always.
I accept the map and the cost and the labor that comes with it.
After we settle mom, we will sit at the kitchen table and turn chaos into a checklist.
A checklist will be my rope, and I will not let go again.
The buyer confirmed locks for Wednesday at 8, which means we have a narrow window.
We will widen that window with medical letters, timestamps, and the audio clip.
Dad taught us patience and a steady hand, and both tools are in reach.
I will be the steady hand, even if I was the tremor that started this.
I am angry, and I am here, and being here is the first repair.
I am here too, and I am choosing truth over shame and action over panic.
Text me when you park because I will meet you at the curb to keep the crew away.
I will bring coffee and the courage to sit with mom while you make the calls.
Courage is contagious, and I plan to spread it through every room.
Let courage rise, and let fear shrink, and let our names anchor this home again.
Our names will anchor each other first and the deed second.
I am turning onto our street, and I am ready to face what I created.
I am opening the door and choosing resolve over rage because resolve builds.
I will match your resolve and keep my voice even for mom.
Come inside and we will start with the doctor, the lawyer, and the county line.
I am walking up the steps and counting each one like a promise kept.
Close the door gently because mom is waking and the crew keeps watching us.
I set the folder on the table, and I am ready to follow every step you give.
Hand me the originals because custody matters when we ask a judge to listen.
The agreement and the power of attorney and the agent card are stacked here.
I am photographing pages for timestamps because clocks beat memories in court.
I am uploading the audio and the screenshots and the bank statement now.
Label files plainly because clarity is a weapon and confusion is their shield.
The first file shows a text promising cash and speed and no trouble if I agreed.
That message is bait because panic sells signatures faster than honest counsel.
The audio captures his voice advising we proceed without you to keep things simple.
His simple is cutting sisters apart, and I will not let a knife be called a spoon.
I will sign a statement that mirrors the audio without excuses or embroidery.
Good because credibility feeds motions and theater starves them.
Mom is coughing softly, so I will bring water and say the hall check lasts minutes.
Tell her I am here and that the workers will wait because health outranks haste.
The buyer replied that our pause request is under review by a supervisor.
I will attach the physician letter as soon as the clinic posts the signed version.
The nurse needs the chart number, and it should be in the blue binder.
Yes, and Dad's handwriting marks medications and appointments and contacts.
I sent the number and requested a capacity summary and a stability note.
I am drafting a declaration explaining routine and how shock triggers wandering.
I will add one line about the alarm chirp that sent her outside in pajamas.
Elder Services asked for a summary and a risk estimate for a sudden move.
A worker photographed the porch, so I photographed him and the plate number.
The notary block looks smudged and the commission number is unclear.
The record exists, but the expiration date differs by 2 months.
That discrepancy is a fault line, and we will put our weight on it.
I emailed the notary requesting the journal entry and identification method.
The clinic faxed a provisional letter stating impairment and need for continuity.
I scanned the letter and attached it to the buyer thread and elder services.
Include bold language demanding 72 hours because urgency must wear ink.
The subject reads medical escalation, and the body demands a 72-hour pause.
I am calling Alvarez now because he moves fast when evidence is ordered.
He wants exhibits uploaded before 11 for a restraining order filing.
Exhibit A is the letter, and Exhibit B is the audio, and Exhibit C, the mismatch.
Exhibit D is the vacant clause, and Exhibit E, the elder intake, and Exhibit F, the timeline.
Exhibit G is the porch photos, and you will zip everything with a one-page index.
The upload is complete, and the confirmation email arrived.
Keep remaining funds untouched because clean balances speak like honest witnesses.
I prepared a paragraph admitting error without melodrama for the motion packet.
Mine lists daily care tasks and the harm displacement brings to cognition.
The aide will send 3 concise statements about behavior after disruptions.
Print the power at full scale because the smudge may reveal alteration without initials.
The enlargement shows an overstrike and a faint shadow like a corrected digit.
Photograph it with a ruler for scale because measurements tamed out.
The agent asked for an early walkthrough, and I sent a firm decline through counsel.
How are you holding up? Because stamina decides whether truth reaches the finish line.
I am scared and steady and calmer with each task finished and label straight.
Mom asked if lunch is early, and I told her yes because routine wears comfort.
The clinic posted the signed letter, and it warns of harm from sudden relocation.
Send it to Alvarez and the buyer and elder services with subject urgent medical update.
After lunch, we will review the motion with a pen and a ruler and a clock.
The buyer acknowledged risk and will hold until Wednesday morning.
That buys filing time and leverage and a breath without losing ground.
Stay accurate because precision is love in crisis.
I will keep words square and steps slow and eyes on the checklist.
The notary will check her journal and respond by late afternoon.
We will follow with a certified request if the response stalls.
The printer is warm and the motion cover page looks clean and aligned.
Place it beside the letter because sequence comforts the eyes and the mind.
Mom is smiling at the radio, which means the room feels safe and still.
Keep it that way and keep our voices low and our paper trail high.
I am ready for court and questions and the slow grind of process.
I am ready too, and I will stay until this house knows our names again.
The order is taped to the door and Friday is circled on the calendar in red ink.
I set the binder on the table, and I am ready to follow your lead without improvisation.
Draft a discovery request for internal emails about capacity and any plan to bypass my signature.
I am writing requests for agent messages, buyer notes, and locksmith schedules with notice logs.
Add policies on dealing with impaired occupants because procedure versus practice will matter.
The list includes training manuals and prior complaints about rushed cash closings.
Now build a witness grid for neighbors, the aide, the notary, and the clinic nurse.
I created columns for contact, topic, credibility, and availability so we can schedule.
Call Nancy for a one-sentence description of the 6 a.m. visit on Friday.
She remembers a man pacing the porch, and she will email a porch camera still.
That still will pin their timeline, which undercuts their claim of reasonable notice.
I labeled Exhibit J as porch camera still and saved a placeholder page.
The notary has not replied, and the commission mismatch grows louder by the hour.
I scheduled a certified follow-up at 5 with delivery receipt and a request for the journal.
Rehearse the hard question about hiding the process and answer with shame and fear. Period.
I will say shame and fear, and that I am correcting course under counsel and medical guidance.
Prepare the second answer about why we did not vacate by citing risk of harm and the TRO.
I will anchor that to the physician letter and the aid notes and the advocate declaration.
Print the tuner email about weekly practice because routine supports cognition in this house.
The email is clipped behind Exhibit A so music and medicine speak together.
Refill the pill organizer and photograph the filled rows to show stable rhythm.
The photos are dated and filed as routine evidence rather than sentiment.
Alvarez prepared a subpoena template for the agent's compensation and training records.
I added it to the index and bolded the line where signature avoidance appears.
If the judge invites brief statements, you will center mom and ask to keep her steady.
I will carry that sentence like a small candle that lights without smoke.
The advocate confirms attendance on Friday and requests dial-in details for backup.
I sent the courtroom number and the caption with a thank you for the urgency.
The buyer offered hotel vouchers and storage, which we decline under the order and the letters.
The decline is sent with the medical recommendation attached again for emphasis.
Water the roses with mom because shared routine wraps the day in calm fabric.
We watered together, and she asked if the piano stays, and I said yes without pause.
Bring in the mail and check for title office receipts that prove our timeline.
A green card confirms delivery, which we scanned and filed under service proofs.
Guilt may sit in the corner, but work holds the microphone for the rest of the week.
I quiet guilt by naming 3 tasks and then doing them in order without drama.
Inventory the keys because someone will claim we obstructed by hiding access.
2 front keys in the red dish and 1 spare on the pantry hook with a photo.
The agent pinged for early photos, and we respond that entry is barred by the order.
I sent that line and archived the thread under post-order communications.
Brew tea for mom because sugar dips make language slide out of reach.
Tea is ready, and apple slices are on her favorite cloth, which steadies her.
Print final binder labels and match every tab to its exhibit letter with care.
The tabs stand straight, and the binder sits upright so pages do not curl.
Schedule a rideshare for Friday morning to avoid parking chaos before court.
Pickup is set, and an envelope holds 2 pens, spare paper, and the index.
Lights out at 9:30 because rest is strategy and tomorrow is heavy.
Alarms are set for 9:30 lights down and 6:30 breakfast and meds.
Read the order aloud before bed so the language settles into muscle memory.
I will read the lines on no contact, no locks, and the Friday hearing time.
Tomorrow we gather utilities and tax receipts to prove stewardship over years.
I will thread those receipts through the timeline so care appears continuous.
We win with truth in documents and steadiness in daily bread rather than noise.
We also aim for mercy in time because the house teaches softness and strength.
For now, we protect, prepare, and keep routine like athletes tapering before a race.
For now, I hold your plan the way a rope is held on a windy dock.
Friday begins with a pale sky and the house holding its breath like a choir at the first note.
I set the binder by the door and breathe in 4s because steadiness is part of our evidence.
Mom eats oatmeal and asks about scales, and I say yes because routine is medicine and message.
I place the pill organizer on the counter and take a photo so the rhythm is stamped in time.
Bring the envelope of stamped orders and the index because the judge respects clean stacks.
The tabs are aligned and the copies are crisp, and my hands feel steadier than yesterday.
The aide will arrive at noon and stay during the hearing, so mom is never alone.
I texted her the plan, and she promised to bring a calming playlist and warm tea.
In the car, remember the 3 points, which are capacity, coercive process, and medical risk.
I will hold those points like a rope, and I will not drift when questions try to pull me.
Alvarez will meet us on the steps and remind us to answer only what is asked.
I am ready to speak in one clean sentence and then stop so the record stays sharp.
Security waves us through, and the clerk whispers that the judge read the file last night.
Alvarez says the other side filed a midnight brief about repairs and liability and urgency.
Urgency does not outrank rights, and stability is a medical order, not a convenience.
The bailiff calls our case, and my spine stands straight while my hands stay calm.
The judge asks for updates, and Alvarez reports the advocate and the signed statements.
The judge asks why the buyer pressed early entry after the order, and Alvarez cites the email.
Opposing counsel waives a maintenance schedule and calls the lock change a safety measure.
Alvarez replies that safety begins with the law and with the clinical letter on harm.
The judge asks how mom did this week, and I say she slept and played and did not wander.
The judge asks about the notary, and Alvarez shows the overstrike and the mismatch date.
Counsel says they can cure defects and asks for a monitored move to a hotel for renovations.
Alvarez objects that a monitored move is displacement in softer clothing and still dangerous.
The judge notes the pattern of pressure and the gap in the journal and asks about discovery.
Alvarez requests 2 weeks for emails, training manuals, notice logs, and compensation records.
Granted, with the order extended and any lock activity barred and contact through counsel only.
Relief moves through my chest like warm air, and I keep my face steady for the transcript.
Outside, Alvarez says our calm undercut their urgency and that ordinary details persuaded.
We ride home, and the binder hums like a book that knows its own ending.
Mom calls from the living room and asks if the lesson is now, and I say almost.
I set the metronome on the piano, and the tick starts like a small heartbeat.
The aide arrives with tea and the playlist, and the room turns into a harbor.
I text the buyer that the order stands and discovery has begun, and entry is barred.
Keep the tone factual and final because calm words close doors better than volume.
The notary promises the journal by tomorrow after a supervisor review.
The advocate emails research tying relocation to delirium and readmission risk.
I file the excerpt behind the doctor letter so medicine leads our chorus.
Make tea for yourself because adrenaline masquerades as strength while it drains you.
I drink and breathe and feel the quiet build a roof over my thoughts.
Now promise me no secrets and no improvisations while the order lives.
I promise no secrets and no improvisations because I have learned the cost.
You are my sister, and this house is our labor and our refuge and our duty.
I will carry that duty every hour, and I will ask before I act.
If storms come, we will meet them with lists and letters and the piano at Middlesea.
If calm comes, we will keep those lists and those letters and that key.
Night will bring rest, and morning will bring coffee and the next page of the plan.
Night will bring a couch beside mom and a phone charged and water on the table.
Sleep knowing the judge heard us and gave the house time to breathe again.
Sleep knowing I will not run alone again and that I will follow your lead.
When morning returns, we will tighten the binder and begin discovery like clockwork.
When morning returns, I will keep pace beside you, and the house will know we stayed.
Tomorrow, we request the notary journal formally and schedule neighbor statements with precise timestamps.
Tomorrow, we print fresh logs of meals and music and mood so the ordinary becomes undeniable.